Then we had the situation in the same era, you know, when this was happening in 1999, early 2000, where emails started dialing themselves and sending themselves. Are they spooks, UFOs? What is it? But it's all tied in with these observations of UFOs. Okay. In Ireland, the first reported, fully documented, investigated UFO alien thing was in 1211 in a place just a little northwest of present-day Dublin, in a place called Cloera. Anybody hear of Cloera? Okay. The townspeople were out trying to capture creatures in their craft that had anchored on the local church. Certified, testified, in the public record, 1211. Just to bring it home a little bit to you. Yes, people have been seeing UFOs in Ireland for centuries. And we're still seeing them today. The skies of Ireland are alive. Okay? There's a Harry Snowball UFO telepathic alert. This one made all the papers with their own little twist to it, of course. But some of them reported it pretty factually, which I was amazed at. This happened in January, 16th of January, 2001. I was very foolish. I was sitting next to the cooker in the house, and I had this another telepathic thing. It's more like a feminine voice this time. It said, go out in 2 minutes. Now, this was 20 minutes. I think I have it right here. 20 minutes. It was 0040, okay, in the morning. So at 0042, I was outside, and I'd gotten my camera by that time, even though I was foolish. This giant, huge, what I can only describe as a hairy snowball, went from southeast to southwest to west. And its tail, which stretched over a couple of miles as far as I can figure, were 5 little golden globes, orbs, like smaller UFOs. The next day, the morning of that night, in other words, all the computers in Monaghan, all the phones were out. Talk about electrical outages and things like that. They went out. People could call out. Nobody could call in. All the ATMs were down. There was never an explanation, never an investigation. I had asked in my publications, on my radio talks, on my internet site, had anyone else seen this phenomenon? Never got any response from anybody credible. A lot of loonies, you know. It's okay, but the whole family. We were doing a sky watch around our place, and we were sitting there because we didn't expect to see anything, and maybe we did expect to see something. But you have a hunch sometimes, even if you don't get a telepathic alert, you have a hunch. And this UFO started coming down over the treetops. We're surrounded by trees. We have a lot of nature things. The rest is farmland beyond our little acreage, you know. This big disc started coming down. She panicked. It's coming down, it's coming down. And it was, okay? As soon as she panicked, the craft stopped. It hovered and shot off after it hovered for a few seconds. She said, why did I panic? It was coming down. Later, okay? It's easy to say later. But we've had hundreds of those things, okay? Where crafts would hover and then shoot off. And sometimes they'd stay there for a long time before they shot off. How do we know they're not satellites or other aerial phenomenon? There's a book out that scientists and astronomers use, okay? It's called The Ephemeris. And it tells you the exact position and timing of all known satellites. There's about 4,000 satellites circling our planet. Only about 1,000 of them are functional, 25% of them. But we know exactly when they're coming. If you see a big ball of light in the sky, don't automatically think it's a satellite, especially if it doesn't run a straight course. And if you have the ephemeris, which we do all the time, we know exactly if that's a satellite or not. The ones we have on our video films are not satellites. Another one in Ireland, okay? Has anybody read that, you read the latest newsletter? Some of the other people in the audience might have read it too. We had this Welcome Home Wagon UFO that was on the 15th of August this year, picking up my wife from Dublin Airport. She's coming back from Glastonbury with the kids from Bristol Airport. Outside of Dundalk, this ship started following us and maneuvering. Different ways it was maneuvering, okay? We were signaling it with just a handheld torch, okay? Which we keep in the glove compartment anyway. And we were signaling it with the headlights, okay? It followed us for 22 minutes from Dundalk all the way through to Castleblaney, where we got out of the car and signaled it. As soon as we got out of the car, it stopped and hovered again. When we got back in the car, it shot off. Now that's hearsay, because I'm telling you this, and you're saying, well, I wasn't there, I didn't know. But these are the stories you hear from people that are credible, and that's one of them. I call it the welcome wagon, welcome back from Glastonbury UFO. Okay, on September 8th, I was called up by Niall Boylan, FM 98 in Dublin, radio. So would you come on the air? We're getting all kinds of reports from people all over Dublin that they've seen a green flying saucer, a green UFO. I said, yeah, sure. People called into the show from different locations, all over Dublin. They had seen this craft. Same story. Was not flying in a straight line. It was lower than the airplanes. So you know it wasn't high in the sky, it wasn't a satellite. It was green, doing maneuvers. Different people reported it. That's the latest one I'm aware of in Ireland. Okay. One of the best ones I had, because it was really up close, was when I was in Flagstaff, Arizona. I'd just gotten out of the car on the side of the major turnpike, you know, highway, freeway, this type of thing. And I had a girlfriend with me. So we're just, you know, long time in the car, coming from the Grand Canyon and coming from Nevada, Las Vegas, this type of thing. So we just got out of the car, and nonchalantly I always signal. In America, you find people outside signaling UFOs. Over 80% of the American people in a recent poll believe UFOs exist, believe aliens exist. There are so many abduction support groups going on in the States, and worldwide. It's not just the States, okay? You'd be surprised. Okay, so this UFO was a very strange one. Never seen this one before, and I never had anyone else describe the same type of UFO. It wasn't an hallucination, because the girl that was with me just before I was married, came to Ireland, okay, saw the same thing. Thank you. This was a blue UFO. It was blue and glowing. And there were cars on the road. How about this for a reality check? This thing swooped down over the freeway, over the, you know, major road, okay, turnpike, highway, whatever, and dumped what looked to be luminescent paint, blue paint, all over the road and the cars, splashing up, you could see it, illuminating the inside of the cars that were going by. Didn't touch our car. We were off on the side of the road for some reason, didn't touch our car. But none of the people involved in those cars took any notice. I said, this is really strange. And then it happened again, going into Chicago. I was with another girl this time, though, okay? It's true. But she was seeing it too, which makes me feel good when I have witnesses with me, okay? Same thing. These were these, you know, major intersecting roads, you know, highways going into Chicago. And the same type of blue craft came over, dumped this paint all over cars, all over these traffic grids. Nobody seemed to notice. So what's going on here? What does that say about reality?